Hi everyone. I'm not sure if most of you know who I am, but some of you probably do. My name is iFantomeN. I'm a Swedish Trove streamer. Usually I stream Trove, but I also do other games as well. Today I'm here to discuss a little bit about Trove mods and how mods work, where you get them, and how they can actually improve your gameplay, because some of the ones I use actually help me out quite a bit FPS wise. So I'm gonna go through the most um, effective ones in my opinion, most of the mods that I personally use myself, um, and I'm gonna just exclude a few of the cosmetic ones that have absolutely no meaning whatsoever. So we're gonna start things off with, what is a mod? What is a Trove mod? A Trove mod is essentially a extension to the game. It's an add-on that can either be a cosmetic one, say change the looks of a costume, a mount, an ally, your UI, your HUD. But it could also be a mod for performance to the gameplay itself. Say you run a pretty crappy computer like I do, and you want to improve your FPS a little bit. There's a few mods out there that helps reduce VFX, particles, unnecessary things that you don't really need in the game that usually brings down the performance of your computer. So I'm gonna go through a couple of them, and we're gonna start off with how to get them first of all. Actually, that might be good to include. So what you normally do is first, I usually just go to my library where I have my games installed. I got Trove here, and you have this little icon. This is called the workshop. The workshop is a place on Steam where people can upload their own mods and share it with the community, you guys. It's pretty basic, pretty easy. You can either browse, search for a specific mod if you know what you're looking for, or you can go through popular mods that people are currently using. The most recent added ones, or just like most subscribed mods, there's like a bunch of different search criterias. You have different categories as well. Say if you're looking for dragon mod, it's a few of those. Mounts. I'm sure you understand how it works by now, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. Let's go ahead and go through most of the mods that I have. I'm going to show you guys. We're going to start off with one that is called Tolerance Player Power. This specific mod is maybe not as useful for most of the people out there, but I really do find this mod useful, especially when running Shadow Towers with a group of people, with people from my stream or just random people that I pull in. It displays pretty much just how much mastery they have, their power rank. So say you are running some Ultra Shadow Towers, you want to invite 15k plus players, PR wise, and say someone whispers you and say like, hey, I have 16k PR, right? So you invite them to the Shadow Tower, and then you see this little icon like 7.5k PR. So obviously you know that person is lying to you, and you might want to kick that person, you might not. So how you go about installing this mod is, obviously I have subscribed to it already, but you scroll down to this little button here and it's going to say subscribe. You click that and it's automatically adding to the game itself. You don't need to do much more than that. Pretty basic. Just click the subscribe button and the mod is there. After that, you just restart your game, or just open up your game, launch Trove, and enable it in the in-game settings. And I'm gonna show you guys how that works as well. Right, the next mod is called, let's see, which one do we have next? We have we have a mod called Better damage numbers. This is pretty basic, pretty straightforward. It splits up the numbers of the damage that you do. Say you do a couple of million damage and you don't know how many numbers are there. You can't like separate exactly. This just puts a comma in between and separates the numbers, so it's easier to see how much damage you actually output. Pretty basic as well. Then we have something called Super Hotbar. This one I particularly enjoy. This is a mod that enhances the UI in game with your skills and everything. You can see like preview right here. I just hit my mic. Good job. It enhances the UI, makes it a little bit easier on the eye, and you can see timers and everything. Pretty cool stuff. I have that as well. Then we also have something called VFX Reducer Package. This one is actually more useful than people might think. This one actually improves your FPS overall. It removes a couple of unnecessary VFX as displayed on the images, makes it a little bit easier to see your environment, and to most people it improves your FPS in game. So that's really useful mod as well. Really useful. I highly recommend that one. We also have a mod called Mini Boss Raider. I'm sure most of you people who have played around with mods before, you know what this is. You've seen this one before. Basically, if there's a boss, a mini boss, a world boss, or any kind of boss close by, it's going to show up with a big bright beam of light going straight up there. Definitely not going to miss out on where that is. Really useful when you're speed farming or farming in general in adventure worlds. What do we have next? We also have a... Actually, I'm gonna skip this one. Hold on. We also have a mod called Superior Marketplace. What this does is it's a UI enhancer. You know the regular 6 boxes marketplace, pretty boring stuff. This one expands to, how many is it? I don't know. It's a lot of boxes. Pretty much it's a marketplace enhancer. It makes it easier to search the marketplace. Not much to explain really. Just look up the mod and see what it does. I'm just going through the mods that I find useful and that you guys might find useful as well, so I can share it with you. Next mod is going to be called Light Jumps. This one pretty much removes unnecessary VFX around the jumping effects, whatever you want to call it. It removes the stupid rings. Might look a bit cluttered, just something you don't really need to see anyways, doesn't really do anything in game, and that might actually give you some performance as well. Oh, this one is good. This mod is called Colorful Tooltips. This is really useful. So say you like to farm a lot, right? You have issues keeping track on loot, what you get, when you get it, and if it's a rare or if it's a common. This mod pretty much displays anything that you pick up. It explains rare item, commons, amazing rare items, and special items from shadow towers, etc, etc. Also displays when a friend is logging in, logging off, when your inventory is full, or when you've sold something in the marketplace. I give this 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 useful mod. I've been using this for a long time now. Next one is called Clock. pretty basic name. Pretty much what it does is it displays the current time, where you live, your local time, system time. Also displays how many dungeons you do per hour. It has like a little thing right there showing how many dungeons you've been doing. Pretty good to keep track on how long you've been farming for, how long you've been AFK for, how long you've been just in a certain area. We also have a friend of mine who is a modder. I'm gonna show off his mod as well. This is called a chat mod. It's a chat enhancer. It makes the chat look better. There's also a website which you have to go to set it up, go through your settings. You can customize colors on the chat, customize text, emotes, everything. It's a really useful and cool looking mod. So that's more of a cosmetic one, I would say, but it's still pretty useful. So we have that. What else do we have? We got the karma tooltip. Oh, this one is good. If you're like me, you open up a lot of boxes all the time. You do box openings. You want to keep track on how many you have left until karma. This mod does that. This mod keeps track on how many boxes you've opened, how many boxes you have totally on karma bar, so you can keep track on whenever you get close. Excuse me, I'm gonna have to drink. Right, so next up we have something called Superior Loot Collector. This might not be as useful to most people. I don't know. It brings out a little bit more information about whatever you loot collecting. You can sort items, and it just shows you a bit more information. It's an enhancer. It enhances the UI of loot collecting. So it's pretty basic, straightforward. Been using that one for a while as well. Next mod is gonna be a map mod. Most of you probably didn't know you could do this, but apparently you can. So this is a mini map mod. Basically this one makes the big, clunky, plugged up, big map you have in the middle of your screen covering everything so you can't see anything. Makes it a little bit smaller, a bit more compact, and puts it on the side of the screen rather than just in front of you, covering up most of your view. I would say this is a cosmetic mod, but it's still really, really useful. Then we also have a mod called Better Invites. This one is pretty straightforward, might not be as useful for most people, but I find it very useful. When you're farming, you get a friend invite, a request to join a world or whatever. Usually pops up straight in your face, might be in the way, you can't really see what you're doing. This one moves where it shows up, and it's just better. I don't know what to say really, it's just better. It helps out. The final mod that I'm gonna show you guys that I'm currently using is called Beam of Loot. This one, oh, it's so beautiful. It's just look at that image, it's Craigasm. But this one pretty much enhances and display whenever loot drops, whenever you get shadows, radiance, or even stellar drops if you happen to have enough magic find to get those. It brings out a nice little VFX, pretty much like a beam of loot. It shows a beam straight up in air. So in case you happen to get like a radiance, at first you don't notice and you leave the dungeon, if you look around you can clearly see that beam going straight up in there, so you can go back and pick up that loot again. pretty useful stuff. Right, so now we just go ahead and open up the game. We'll launch up Trove, and I'm going to show you guys how it works to enable or disable the mods that you just installed through the workshop. Vape Nation. I know, don't give me crap. Okay, so hit escape, menu, mods, and here you have all of the mods that are currently subscribed to through the workshop. I have quite a bit of them, but I've showed you most of the useful ones. So say you just installed a mod, it's not showing up in game, right? It might be disabled. You have to go in here and enable the mod. Hit enable, make sure it's green right there, and restart your game. The mod should be showing up, should be working. And to disable a mod, you do the same thing, but you disable the mod instead. Hit the green button and it's going to display disabled. You restart the game, the mod is gone. And if you want to remove it further, if you don't want it on your system at all, you go into the workshop again, you look up the mod where you found it, and you hit unsubscribe on the same button again to simply remove it. Pretty basic. I've had a lot of questions on my stream. A lot of people in my club constantly ask me, how do you get those mods? What kind of mod is that? How did you do that? What is that? So I figured I would make a short video about it and show you guys. Also, in the description below the video, I'm gonna include a link to a Google spreadsheet where I'm gonna list all of these mods and gonna add links to where you get them as well, so you want to make sure you get the correct one. But other than that, enjoy Trove, and I'll be back soon again and do more videos, hopefully. If you guys have any questions regarding mods, how it works, where to get them, feel free to just leave a comment down below in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, all that stuff, and have a good time at Trove.